I'd like to get your thoughts on the big one coming up in the Kingdom in Saudi Arabia, Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk, for all the marbles on the line. How do you see this fight going down in the Kingdom?
Well, for a start, Fury's a really difficult guy to box because he's 6'9" and he's 20 stone. He's not an athlete by any terms of the imagination. He's because he carries a lot of blubber and so on. But what makes him a world champion is his physique, right? I'm not a huge fan. I think for his size, he does remarkably well. He moves, quite well for a big man. But what you find with Tyson, of course, he can't build combinations because he's too big.
Yeah.
Right, he's too immobile. So he'll hit twice and he'll grab, and that'll be the tactic. He'll jab and cross and grab, or jab and grab. Usyk's old style European, right? And he's a kind of on a kind of like a heavier version of Lomachenko in terms of his movement. The foot movement, so punch and move to the side, could give Fury a problem. Now, I don't know if Usyk's got a big punch. I'm not convinced he's got a big punch for a heavyweight. So I would see Usyk probably winning on points. Yeah. Or Fury, if he's not fit, and I think there's huge question marks over his fitness, generally. I think Fury could blow up, maybe about the 8th, 9th, 10th round, and Usyk then piling on enough pressure for the referee to step in. But what do I know?
Oh, you know a lot, but what's going to be interesting, I think, is the weight that Alexander Usyk comes in at, that he can keep his attributes, his movement, his ring IQ, his foot feints, his head feints. Can he mentally bamboozle Tyson Fury in the early rounds with Fury trying to figure him out?
I think he could, and you know what? I think his tactic will be, because his movement for a heavyweight is pretty good.
Yeah.
Usyk, and I think that will bother. See, if you've got a tall guy, if you've got a big guy, and you're a shorter guy against him, and Usyk is not that much short. I don't know what height he is, but I think he's capable of the head movement. If you look at Canelo, for example, he's a short middleweight, right? Mm-hmm. But his head movement is superb. And you think of him as just the guy that walks in and bang, bang, bang. And you look at Duran, he was the same. Always punch, move the head, because where your head is when you punch is where the guy is going to aim for. But if your head's not there, if it's just moved a little bit, then he's off target. So the head movement is important, and I think there's going to be a big thing for Usyk. He's going to be having to punch, and then move. And I think that's where Tyson might come unstuck, because he will not be able to land his jab as often as he would like to. And on that score, you see, his last fight against Ngannou, and this is the paucity of the heavyweight division, when it's such a bizarre situation when you've got a guy who's had one fight and lost one.
And get a WBC top 10 ranking. It stinks to the core, Frank. It's corruption. I don't care what everybody says. Mauricio Suleiman should be taking a look at yourself. And not all that is down to money and the sanctioning fee, the 3-5% whatever he gets. That's detriment to other fighters. Your Hergoviches, your Martin Bacolis, these guys like that, and they're not getting the shot. It's complete nonsense. No, that's down to money. It's all it's down to, Frank.
Of course, but then it always was, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. I think it's got worse.
Yep.
And I think with the advent of pay-per-view TV and the dollar signs are flashing in front of the eyes of the governing bodies, not to say the promoters, I think, that's why we're seeing all these bizarre things, like Jake Paul, Anderson Silva. Sorry, Anderson, he's one of my followers. They're getting big fights and millions of dollars. And who are the mugs?
Us.
Mm-hmm. Why? Oh, let's go on to DAZN. Let's pay for that. That's a good fight. Really? Mm-hmm.
They're selling this garbage. My mate calls it wolf tickets. Absolute nonsense. Yeah. It's just the fact that it's like they see the mob ran the boxing back in the Ray Robinson days, the Ali days. They still do technically when you look at it. Well, that's nonsense what's going on. But listen, Frank, can I push you for a prediction on the Fury Usyk fight before we close up?
Well, now you're trying to put me on the spot, because I know what you're going to do. You're going to come back on and say, you got it wrong. Usyk certainly is the winner. I think probably late in the fight it will end in his favour, because I think Fury's past it now.
Yeah, I think his legs are gone as well, Frank. You
Yeah.
could tell in the guy fight, he wasn't there, but listen, time will tell. It's got to be a cracking fight, May 18th. One that's certainly going to get the juices flowing.